We buried Jack today in a place of peace surrounded by his family. His mother Helen is here, and so is his father William, the father he found in so many pictures. He was always just around the corner, just out of sight, but surely there. And his big brothers are here too, Bill, who died too young, and Jim, who stands here today knowing all the stories of his younger brother. The stories Jack loved to hear about the house in Wilmette, Mrs. Saunders next door, dangerous buggy rides, and always being found no matter how far he ran, no matter where he hid. His nieces and nephews are here. Jim, Margaret, Mary, and Bill stayed faithful to their Chicago uncle, talking to him on holidays, visiting him, even when visiting was not easy. They visited not only through his lifetime, but their own too. And if the pictures in more than 30 photo albums show him changing from a man of 40 to one of 80, so did they grow up, going through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and into the 21st century with him, always standing beside him, always smiling. And they brought husbands and wives, Mary, Mike, Tim, and Antonia, giving more life and faces to the phrase, "Come and meet my people," that Jack used so proudly. And with them came the next generation, great nephews and nieces. Michael, Monroe, Beatrice, and Irene, who heard their story of Jack and loved to see how the long trains he drew could stretch. They grew from babies in arms to the young people they are today. Albums were filled with them, too. Jack never lived in Green Bay, so this is his last journey. We cannot provide a train, but there is a train etched on his coffin. And though he left many friends in Evanston, he is in the right place with the part of his family he never forgot, but always missed. He is finally with them again after all these years, and of course with his Uncle Bud and Luke too. Jack did not live an easy life, but when all is put in balance, he had what anyone would call a good life. He had an amazing number of friends, touched an amazing number of people, and will be remembered with love. Everyone who knew Jack remembers his smile, his opening and welcoming greeting. And in the end, what is more important than that?
His family would come down in their pajamas and watch the 400 go through screeching and blowing sparks all the way into Chicago, to the times that Jack actually jumped trains to get someplace else. And several times that we took him to train museums, and the years and years that he spent working on the railroads and making trains. And I found this poem that it seemed to be what trains were to Jim. And to Jim and to his brother Bill and to his brother Jack. Travel. The train track is miles away, and the day is loud with voices speaking, yet there isn't a train that goes by all day, but I hear its whistle shrieking. All night there isn't a train goes by where the night is for sleeping and dreaming, but I see its cinders red in the sky and hear the engine steaming. My heart is warm with the friends I made, and better friends I never am knowing. Yet there isn't a train I wouldn't take, no matter where I'm going. And so I think Mary found a little song of, I've been working on the railroad since this is what he did all his life. I now blow your horn, and on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass my time away. Past the years ago, rise up so early in the morning, and hear the captain shouting, and I'll blow your horn, Mary. Well, since railroading and the drawing of those trains was so important to Jack, we thought that there were some things that he should take with him. One of them is one of his own trains. Even Helen didn't believe to the end of her life that he was actually drawing these trains, these wonderful, wonderful long trains. So why don't you put one of those up there for him? And maps. He had, everyone that visited him knew that Jack knew how to get here. He would never have gotten lost. He would keep all his maps in his pocket. And if there's one thing for sure, he found his way here. And Jack, for years, we would give Jack yellow pencils for Christmas. We didn't realize how many he kept. I bet there were 60 yellow pencils that he had in the box. So I thought everybody should have 2 pencils. One to put with Jack, because as Tim said, that would be a terrible thing, and they're all sharpened, to get to all eternity and have a dull pencil. And just in case, we'll put a sharpener there too. But everyone can get 2 pencils, put one up with Jack, and keep the other one. Because who knows, sometime you might need the kind of courage that he had to keep going no matter what. And he loved those trains, and maybe the yellow pencil will remind you of that too. So everybody gets one to put with Jack and one to keep.